I'm TimeWillTellAll and you're watching my Let's Play guide for Minecraft SkyFactory 3. Welcome back. On the last episode, we upgraded our mob farms. So our squid farm is now a ghast farm. We have witch water in there, mob farms and a mob masher. So that he's killing them a lot, killing them as well. In here, we have witch water, which turns our skeletons into wither skeletons and our creepers into electrified creepers. This means we're getting wither drops now. So wither skulls and also drops of evil, which I've used to upgrade the bottom of the mob farm in between with cursed earth. And we have a mob masher in there and a mob fans pushing it into the masher with all of the upgrades for looting. And we're collecting experience from both of these farms with an experience obelisk and an XP vacuum. And you can see we've got 181 levels in here already. And I've used all the levels I can to upgrade all of our meshes with sieving and looting, as well as our hammers with efficiency. To do the cursed earth, you just get a drop of evil and you right click it on a bit of dirt. Now, I will highly recommend that you do not do that while you're in there. So go underneath it after you've replaced it all with dirt and then turn it into cursed earth. Otherwise, while you're turning it into the cursed earth, the mobs will start attacking you. You could also put a lot of dirt down, turn it all, and then go and place it, but the same thing will happen. So replace the floor with dirt, go underneath it, look up and right click all of the dirt with the drop of evil, and you will have the cursed earth mob farm. In between, I've also moved the drawers off of here, so all of our drops are now stored in our drawer storage system over there. We're opening the epic bags as well. The only thing we've got left is a bat bag here, which actually we're going to need this episode, so I'm going to take one out now. I upgraded my storage, got lots more compacting drawers for specific drops, locked them and void upgrades on all of them. Also lots of compacting drawers for all of the blocks and different resources that we can turn into blocks, just so that it's a higher amount of storage we're getting. I've made a little area for dimlets as well, because we get dimlet parcels from our mob farms. If we right click a dimlet parcel, we get the dimlets, which we'll be using at some point to make some RF tools dimensions. And I have some extra areas over here for random drops from the mob farm. So every other drawer is locked except for these, so I can see what I haven't filtered, and I can either just throw it away or add it to my filter. So in this case, for example, I'm just going to delete most of this because I don't care about it. I could add it into the filter, and I probably will in between. But this is, it's not really needed for now. The diamond chest transporters are useful, and everything else that we're getting is going into the right drawer. And we already have some brewing stands. Also, I added on 3 more resources to our smelting, so we have quartz enriched iron, black quartz and yellow yellorium. Because there's no point storing them in that form, you might as well store them in the form that you're going to use them in, which are the blocks and the black quartz. I extended the floor over here for a later date, so we have some more space to work with, and I moved our solar tier 1 over there because I replaced that with some solar panels from Solar Flux Reborn. So I've got solar panel 5s here, 4 of them with efficiency and transfer rate upgrades, which are very basic to make. So efficiency, just some photovoltaic cells, which we'll get to in a minute, and some blank upgrades, and the transfer, same idea, blank upgrades and redstone and gold, and these will increase the output and the ability to transfer the energy. I upgraded our energy conduit, so our wiring for our energy, to ender energy conduits, because we didn't have enough energy coming through to power all of this. And to do all of that, I also upgraded our battery to a vibrant capacitor bank. So this now holds 625 million RF, because the vibrant capacitors hold 25, whereas the singles only hold 1. So you see 1, 5, and the final upgrade is 25. And we have a lot of resources, so there's no reason why we couldn't do that. To help with it, for the solar panels, I made a crafter tier 2. And this crafter makes the mirrors and all the photovoltaic cells. So all you need to do is drop in an iron and glass, and it will make the mirrors. Then if you want the next level, you add some lapis, Then if you want the next level, you add some clay. And if you want the next level, you add some glowstone obsidian. So this is a very quick way to craft the cells that I need for the panels. Because once you get up to the higher tiers, you actually need these cells as well. For the solar panels themselves, I also made a crafter because we needed quite a few of these to get up to the tier we're at. So each one uses the previous panel, and also from 3 onwards, these photovoltaic cells. We went up to 5 because for 6, we actually need the 4 of the photovoltaic cells, and they take blaze rod and block of quartz, and we don't have a consistent way of generating that. The glowstone, we're just getting enough coming from sieving and mob farm, but the blaze rod and the quartz, we don't have a good way to get that yet. This can come from mob farm, this can as well, but it's not consistent enough to give us enough resources to make these. So I'm going to wait until we have that, which we will next episode, because we're going to go to the nether and get our chickens and our blaze spawners. To make the vibrant capacitors, I made one crafter with basic, double and octadic. So similar idea. None of the recipes have the same ingredients. So if you drop in gold, copper and redstone, you'll get basics. If you then want to upgrade them, you just drop in some energetic and some coal powder, and again some vibrant and some glowstone. Now the alloys we've had for a little while already. We've been getting them from the mob farm, and we've also had the resources to make them. The vibrant is from loot bags, so from the epic, or from mixing energetic with an ender pearl in our alloy smelter. And the energetic is from loot bags or from making it with redstone, gold and glowstone, which we have lots of. So we can make the alloys easily. And then with the capacitors, we upgrade the energy. So we take our basic bank, which we make with the redstone, iron and basic capacitors. We then add in a double layer and some energetic alloy. We add in the octadics we've got from our other crafter and vibrant, and we get up to our vibrant capacitor. We also need vibrant crystals, so I made a recipe for that, although that's just me being a bit lazy. So these 2 crafters will keep helping me if I want to make more of the vibrant batteries or the solar panels for the future upgrades. Maybe we'll make one more crafter, or in the next episode, or in an episode or 2, we're definitely going to have a refined storage system with auto crafting, so we may not even need to use that. But this is an option you can use for any kind of multi-level crafting that you want to do early on before you get to that stage. So let's finally get to what we're going to do in this episode. I'm going to be ticking off a few achievements and also setting up our wireless power grid. So to do that, we want flux power, and for flux, it just needs redstone. So we have lots and lots of redstone, and I've put it all back in the system again, I think. Keep doing that. Yeah. So we're going to grab lots of redstone blocks, and we're going to need some redstone dust as well. How you get flux is you cook redstone in a furnace. So I've used the alloy smelter. Or you use what we made in a previous episode, our nether altar. It doesn't have to be a nether altar, it just needs to be a pit of lava. You throw your block of redstone or your redstone in, and you get back flux. Now I will highly recommend that you, if you want to make blocks of flux, you throw in blocks of redstone, because if you try to make a flux block otherwise from normal flux, it's not just 9 flux. You actually have to make the cores, which are obsidian and eyes of ender, and also 4 flux each. So it's very expensive to upgrade the flux powder, basically, to the flux block. So if you want to make the flux blocks, drop in or cook the redstone blocks. So a flux power network is wireless, and it works across all dimensions. So we can have power in the standard dimension where we are, and we can also power stuff in the nether, in the end, in the beyond, in wherever we decide to go. We have a network set up that we can use. To control the network, we need a flux controller, and that will need flux cores. So cores are eye of ender, obsidian and flux. We have eye of enders because we have ender pearls and blaze powder, so they're very easy to get. We then want to make a lot of these cores. I'm actually going to make a whole stack and another stack, because these are components in everything else almost that we need. From there, we need to make our controller, and then if we put the controller down and right click the controller, we can make our network. So I'm going to remove a testing one. So we have, I'm going to create it. If you click on create a network, you can name it what you want. just going to call it TimeWillTellAll power. Then if I go to home with it selected, I can change the settings. I'm going to put ignore limit to true and transmitter to on. And this is because we can power wirelessly anything that we've got on us. So for example, I've got a Staff of Traveling. It has no power. I got that from loot bags, but we can actually make it at some point. But you could have had a jetpack or anything that needs you to have power, needs power to work. So here it needs RF and it has 0. So if I keep that in my bag, you're going to see that that will get powered up. But I'm not going to do it until after we've set it up so you can watch it happen. So the next thing, now we have our wireless network set up, is that we need to send energy into it. Now I'm going to make a storage for that energy. We already have the batteries, so you don't need to do this, but I like to have the gargantuan flux storage as well, because this will hold 128 million RF in a single block, and it will also help with the energy transfer across our system. So to make the gargantuan, you just need the basics, the Herculean, and then you can upgrade straight into that. They just take each other. So the basics are flux and glass. I need to make 36 of these, because the next level will take 6 of the basic and more glass to make one of the hires, and I need 6 of those to then make the gargantuan, which again is just more glass than the previous, and now we have a gargantuan. So if I put this down, it doesn't have to be next to it. Remember, this is all wireless, but I'm going to keep it here to keep it together. And then if I right click on this, I'm going to put ignore limit to true so everything can be sent, and I'm going to select my new network. So now that's linked up. We just need to feed it with power. To feed it with power, we need to make some plugs and some points. So if I make some flux plugs, I'm just going to make 10 of those and 10 of the points. These are basically your energy transfer systems. So this will receive energy from the network, and this will send energy into the network. So if I put one of these flux plugs now onto our battery, our big vibrant capacitor bank, and I've already set it to output, then I right click on the plug and I select my network and I select ignore it. You don't have to do this, but I always like to transfer as much as possible. You'll see it's now sending 500,000 RF into our network, and our network has that gargantuan storage, which is what is being filled right now. As soon as it's filled, there it's going back to normal power generation. So if I go over there, you can see it's lit up. We have 128 million RF in our network, which also means we can now send it out of the network. And to do that, you just stick a flux point on whatever you want to receive your energy. So normally I would put it onto this, but I filled this one up already. So I will show you that when we get to our automated farming. So for the moment, I'll just put these away, and when we get there, I'll pull them back out. But I can show you, if we pull this stuff traveling out, now you see it's being powered up fully. So because we have wireless charging on, we now have our Staff of Traveling being powered, and we can use it. And it will keep itself powered. Similar, if you have a jetpack that needs powered, you can fly around and it will keep it powered for you. So I'm going to put away these flux blocks. We don't need them for now, but we will at some point. I'm also going to put away the flux, the redstone and the glass pane, and just everything I can. And for some reason the obsidian doesn't match, but that's okay. And then we can put these flux cores in here as well. So now we have our new energy system. We won't really need the wiring, but we do if it's in a smaller area. But if it's just single blocks, we can easily power it with our wireless source. So we can tick off our setup wireless power with green, not with yellow. The next thing we're going to do is flight. We are going to have creative flight this episode. To do that, we are going to make an angel ring. Because we've been setting up for this for a few episodes now. Our angel ring just needs glass, gold, resonating redstone, and some lassos with some creatures. So let me go and grab the glass. Now, if I already had the glass. I was prepared. If I make my lassos, so they are just string and gold. I actually need to make 2 of them. I'm gonna make 3 because there are 2 methods to what we need to do next. And then also I need to make a cursed lasso because we have the drop of evil now. We just put that with a golden and we make a cursed. The golden works a lot like the animal net. It will let you capture passive creatures, and the cursed is the opposite. It lets you capture aggressive creatures. So for our angel ring, we need to capture a bat, and we need to capture a ghast. For the bat, we get bat bags from our mob farm. We could also have them in our mob farm. We just have to turn it off and not kill them. Here, if I open the bat bag, I get a spawn bat egg. If I then spawn the bat, preferably in a small room, but I'm going to try and do it here, and then right click it with the golden lasso just once. Okay, it's a bit hard. Yeah, you probably want oh god, I'm probably getting dizzy from watching me do all this. There we go. You probably want to do that in a small room instead of what I just did, but I had faith in my bat catching ability. So you right click once and you catch it. Make sure you don't just spam right click because you will release it. The next thing we need to capture is a ghast, and this is a bit harder, but we already have a ghast farm, so we have no reason that we can't do this. The trick is you either capture a squid and turn it... Why is there a skeleton down there? I don't know, but he's dying anyway. You capture a squid and turn it into a ghast by pouring witch water on it in a small room, or you turn off your mob masher. Is that all open? I'm going blind. And you let a ghast spawn in there. The thing is, you actually need to damage it down to 2 hearts before you can capture it. I should be able to hit it once with my axe and then right click it with the lasso. So let's try this. Run away. Watch the minimap till there are some red dots in our... There we go. We've got 2 ghasts in there. We don't want too many. Otherwise they'll start to push each other out. Make sure you don't run head on, because if they see you, they will start shooting you, and they'll start shooting outside of your mob farm. And you can see that one's trying to hit me already, and I hope it's not suffocating, because it is, and I just fell off, which is no good. And I didn't mean to go in here. Hopefully I'm okay. No, it needs to be reduced to 2 hearts. It's not on 2 hearts yet. It wants to blow me up. I'm just going to hide here for a second. It's looking at me, but it's actually trapped in the corner, so it's alright. That one seems to be okay because it blew up the blocks. So if I hit this one... we get up here, we hit this on the head, and we capture it in the lasso. So after you've captured your ghast, I just rebuilt the mob farm. You put the golden lasso, the crystal, and the cursed one with the mobs caught, and you have your angel ring. And we now, I'm just going to put those away, we now have creative flight. If we double click space, in my case, because that's the key, I can fly around like I'm in creative mode. You need enough grid power to do this, because this is the way that I've chosen to do it. So it needs 32 grid power, but we have more than enough with all of those water farms, all those water mills we've been using for everything else. So now I can fly. Now we can fly. And that is one of the achievements we can tick off in the book. And we have our slime boots as well, so if we drop from a high height, we don't get hurt. We have no worries. And I actually want that ring to look a little bit differently, so I'm going to put it with some leather, and now I have my angel ring. And I'm going to even put it on. Can I put it on? Can I put it on? Can I put it on? Yes, I can. I can put it in my second hand. But I can't fly with it. Okay, so actually you have to leave it in your bag. And then it gives you wings. So now we can fly. Just do not take that off. Grid power is across dimension just like our wireless power, so we should be able to now fly everywhere, which means we can go to the nether finally, and we can deal with those. We can go to the end and deal with the dragon. And also when we build these Inferium farms, we will have an easier time doing it. So let me just put away everything I can. Remember to always leave that in your inventory. We can tick off the angel ring, but we need to make the angel block. So the next thing is to make an angel block. This is just gold, obsidian, and 2 feathers. So let me grab obsidian, 2 feathers, and a gold ingot. Now this will allow you to place this block in the middle of the sky. So for example, normally you have to have a block touching something, but if I fly up here and just right click, it's going to place the block, and we can now build off of that block. I'm going to be using this right now because one of the other achievements is to make a lightning rod. So to do that, we need to make 4 structure block tier 1. So we've done that before. We can just make hardened stone. We don't need anything else. 3 lightning rod and 4 insulated lightning rods. So I should have pretty much everything ready to do that. So if we make our structure block and tick off angel ring and angel block, we can check for our structure block tier 1. We need hardened stone. Then we need to mix that with some gold and redstone, and we have our 4 structure blocks tier 1s. Next we need the lightning rod and the insulated, so 3 lightning rod and 4 insulated. So if we check the lightning rod, we actually need to make 4 of those because we need 1 for our controller. So if we make this once, then we have to make it again. We can make our lightning rod controller, and we need 4 lightning insulated rods. So for the insulated, just block of iron and clear glass. Clear glass, as before, was sand and nether quartz together cooked up. So we need 4 of these. So we have to make 2. For some reason they give you 3 in both recipes when you need 4 both times. And then we need a lightning rod controller tier 1, which is just 1 lightning rod, some standard stone, clear glass and block of gold. And of course, take our assembler, which we had in a previous episode, which we use for our solar array. So we have everything we need for our lightning rod. So we are going to take advantage of all this bad weather we get in this taiga biome, all these lightning strikes, and hopefully stop it striking our base. So I'm going to fly up here. Going to stick the angel block high in the sky. Going to stick on top of that the lightning rod controller. Then right click it to start building the lightning rod. Knock out our angel block. Don't need it there anymore. So it will finish building this. It will tell us when it's complete. So we now have our lightning rod, and we are going to use that to send power back into our network. So let's grab the flux plug, stick the flux plug on the controller and connect it to our network. So we now have, when that lightning rod gets struck, it will generate us power. 500,000 per strike. And if we upgrade it all the way, you can get up to 32 million per strike. But we can't get that far yet. If I remember correctly, we can get to tier 2 only, because tier 3 needs mica and we haven't made a resource miner yet. Oh, we haven't gone to the beneath, and tier 4 needs nether stars. We both are in reach, we're just not there yet. So we can now tick off some achievements, and I can also tick it off in my task list. So let's have a look through the book. We will do the Inferium in a second. We're flying. We've used an angel block to start somewhere else. And we've already built a solar array tier 1. We've made a lightning rod, and the tier 4 we need some new things for. So we've ticked off some more achievements. The next part we are going to need to do, so I'll just put all of that away for now, is the Inferium farm. So I know some people have been waiting for farming as well. To do this, we will want to go into Ender.io, as there is a farming station. The other ones don't always work for the mystical agriculture crops. The farming station seems to be the best one. To get to the farming station, we need to make a slice and splice. So slice and splice is shears, iron axe, machine's chassis, any head, and solarium. We made solarium last episode. The machine's chassis we've made in the past as well. So we have the resources to do this, and I've already got them already here. You also want to make an extra one, because when you make this slice and splice, you actually need to power it almost, or feed it with some tools. So I'm going to stick this, where can I put it for now? I guess I'll just stick this alongside my crafters for now. And we could actually connect it with the power, the wiring there, or we can use our new flux plugs flux points to receive energy. So if we stick that on there, and if we connect this up to pull, we select this as a network, we put it on the power network. This is now feeding, actually this as well, but it's now feeding this with power, and you can see it's charging. Put ignore limit to true, it will feed it as quickly as it can feed it power. Well, you can also stick off anything else alongside that. You'll see it will connect in all directions. But this means we now have wireless power. I don't need to keep connecting wires, although in this case it would make sense just to put a wire there. I wanted to demonstrate how this works. So in our slice and splice, you need to put an axe and shears. You can put any in. I just chose to use diamond because we have diamond. You need a slice and splice before you can make a farming station. Because for a farming station, and I'm going to make 4 of these, you need Z-logic controllers and pulsating crystals. So pulsating crystals, we just have diamond and pulsating iron nuggets. I've already got those. But you need Z-logic controllers. And this is made in the slice and splice with, again, zombie head, some silicon, redstone, and solarium. So let me just grab everything I've got here. I need to grab some silicone and some redstone. So we've got some silicone up here, which we've made in the past as well, but you just cook nether quartz. And some redstone. I think I need 8 because I need 2 per. So we go over to our slice and splice. And we just make, oh, 1 done. No, now 1 done. We can speed this up as well. I don't know if I have any octadics on me. Yes, I do. So the capacitors we made before, if we stick one of those in here, it will hold more power, use more power, and work at a faster pace. Will that stack? Yeah, so we got 3. It's just not showing me. And 4, so very quickly. So we can stick these in all of our alloy smelters as well to make them work quicker. Now we've made our 4 Z-logic controllers, and we have the heads from the mob farm because we've got beheading on the mob masher. So we've got loads and loads of heads. You can use any one. In that case though, you need to use a zombie for the Z-logic. We can make 4 farming stations. We actually need to make another few diamond hoes though. Doo-doo-doo. And sticks are over here. Yeah, diamond hoe. 1, 2, 3, and 1. No, we need 4 more pulsating crystals, which I have here, so that's good. Don't have to make any more. There we go. So we have our farming station. So we've got our slice and splice. Because of that, we now have our farming station. I've already made some unbreakable mattocks, just as I did in the previous episode, for our chicken farm. This will allow us to automate the farming with the farming stations without having to worry about replacing the tools. So now we need to farm something. Well, we need to do Inferium. Inferium is on the achievements, and it's also very useful for us. Firstly though, I'm going to make some infusion crystals. So this is part of mystical agriculture. We can't make this yet because we don't have a nether star, but this one is an unlimited version. We want to get there as soon as possible, so maybe next episode we'll kill a wither. But we need some diamonds, some Inferium, and prosperity shards. Now the prosperity shards come from sieving sand in the iron mesh, so you should have lots of those. And Inferium we've been generating from our mob farm, so we've got lots of that as well. I'm going to make 4 of these, just to give us a small stock of them, because we're going to be making a lot of Supremium, which means we're going to have a lot of uses out of them. Then, so I'm going to tick that off. Then I want to make straight away the highest level of Inferium. So each seed has a tier. So there's tier, it goes up to tier 5, and the tier 5 will give you more Inferium and grow at a faster rate. So to do that, you just need to put Inferium around the seeds. So we've got lots of seeds, and I can make that. We also have lots of Inferium seeds, I believe, from already having a, probably from a loot bag. Yeah, from our rare loot bag we got Inferium seeds, but I can just show you the standard way that you do this if you haven't got that far or haven't gone that way. Just stick Inferium around the seeds and you get the tier 1s. Then from the tier 1s, you need Prudentium. And to get Prudentium, you need to put 4 Inferium with an infusion crystal. So lots and lots of Inferium this is going to cost. So I'm just going to quickly put away everything I can put away. And take back the Inferium seeds. And we're also going to take lots and lots of blocks of Inferium. So I know I've got loads of this because our mob farm's been running a while. If you haven't, start at the tier that you can. And work your way up, because you can just build the 1s, the 2s, grow it, grow it, grow it, and get more. I know I've got lots, so I'm going to take full advantage of it and going to grab my Inferium seeds as well. So I've made an area over here. We are going to stick our farming station in the middle there. So let me just do that. We don't have a worm there, so that's okay. So our farming station will be here. It works by default. You can right click and show range. And you can see it will work within the 7x7 block, just like we've set up previously. This is why I like to keep it to this side. You can increase the side by adding the octadic capacitor in, but for me, within one chunk, 4 farms, 7x7 seems to work well enough. So let's break down this Inferium block. Now again, we get to take advantage of our wireless energy. If we stick a flux point on top of this, oh, actually we shouldn't stick it on, yeah, we'll stick it on top. And we select a network, Twitter power, ignore limit. Now this is being powered wirelessly, but it has no seeds, that's fine. With Inferium, we won't get seeds back in this pack. It's been disabled, we will only get the Inferium. So an example now is that we right click, we put in a paper mattock, and we plant the Inferium. I don't remember if that will plant it for us. Yes, it will. So that is a way you can start from tier 1. Grow it, grow it, grow it, and then you work on upgrading to tier 2. As I said, I'm going to take it straight to tier 5 if I can. So let me just turn off show range. And hopefully our lightning tower will be struck. Although we're not actually going to know because our battery is already full. We'd have to watch it, but as long as it stops our base being struck, that is a bonus. But even then, because I know it will cause quality issues, I'm going to turn the rain off for the moment. So we have our farming station fed. We want to make our Inferium. We want to upgrade it. And then we want to make our tier 5 Inferium seeds. So again, I'm going to use a crafter. Here, I'm going to use the crafter tier 3. I believe I have more than 4 recipes. Same thing. I need power, so stick a flux point on power source. Now this is powered. Ignore limit as well, just so it's powered fully. And I'm going to work my way up the recipes. So actually 1 block is a lot of Inferium, and that's more than I thought it was. So first recipe, I'm going to put internal, stick the Inferium around in a circle, and then stick the infusion crystal in the middle. And apply. Should be working. Sometimes for some reason this seems to bug out. I'm not sure, but if you just come back to it. Ah, I know what. Okay, there we go. So it is applied, but it's not seeing the recipe for some reason. It happens sometimes. Ah, no, I'm being special. It's only 4, it's not in a circle. So first recipe like this, make sure it's internal. So now you'll see it will use the crystal and it will upgrade it to Prudentium. If I then make the next one, again say internal and stick 4 Prudentium and the infusion crystal back in, it will make intermedium. We do the same again, internal, we put 4 intermedium and we stick the infusion crystal and we make superium. Now we need to just feed it with all of the Inferium we've got. Let it upgrade because we need to get 4 Superium and we've got 4 there. So if I stick 4 Superium and apply, oh no, next one. Yeah, so if I tick 4 Superium and the infusion crystal and click apply, now we are, and I only needed a crafter tier 2 actually. Now we are, and that should be internal as well. We are automating the crafting of Supremium. if I just stick a few more infusion crystals in here, so we've got some to replace. And if I then, and I can just in this case, because I'm lazy, I can take my block and stick that as a new recipe for Inferium. I can throw the blocks in and it will be upgrading all of that Inferium all the way to Intermedium. And I would put it onto fast, take out the blocks. Why is it not upgrading to Prudentium? Maybe we can just forget this one. There we go. Needed some space. Okay, so yeah, don't throw too much in to begin with. Let's just try that again. So we'll stick the Inferium block in. It will upgrade it. It will need the space to work on the next one. We'll stick another block in. It will upgrade it, and you can see we already have nearly 20 Supremium just because we had a lot of Inferium generating all these episodes from our mob farm. We've already used up one of the infusion crystals as well. And there we go. We have 30 Supremium already. Which is we actually skipped through that very quickly because of the amount that we already had. For you it may take longer, but if you set it up like this and then just pipe in all of your Inferium from your farms, then you'll get the next. And I actually need to take that out. Then we need to downgrade some of it, a few levels. So if you put it back, the reason I craft it all the way up is because you can actually take it all the way back down in tiers. Just by putting one in, you get 4 of the previous. So you don't need to worry about not being able to do that. Then if we want to make our tier 2 seeds, we just take... I'm going to need a few of these, so let me just craft them back down. Craft them back down, and craft them back down. So for example, in this case, we can make 2 straight away. Upgrade, we'll get 2 tier 2s. Now, we've got 1 tier 3 here, so let's just make another tier 3. Then we can take it to tier 4. And if we give ourselves another 2 of these, we can take it to tier 4 as well. So we have 2 tier 4s. And then with the Inferium, we can take it to 2 tier 5s. So from all the Inferium that I had, I've managed to make 2 tier 5 Inferium seeds. And if I right click on the farmer and I put those in, it will put them down. Now I've used dirt with worms because worms will speed up the tick rate of the block, and bone meal does not work on mystical agriculture crops. So the fertilized dirt doesn't seem to work here because it applies random bone meal ticks, whereas the worms will actually speed up the growth ticks. So you can see this is already 14%. You can speed it up further by using the watering can in the past if you want to stand there and do that. But this will work itself, so there's no real need to worry about that for now. Now, we want to make more of these seeds. The only way you can do is to continually craft them. So again, if you wanted to, you can actually add in here the tier recipes. So if I double click on this and I say tier 2, apply, and then if I double click on this and say tier 3, but you don't really want to do them in the same crafter. So I would suggest making 2 tier 2s, one for the seeds and one for the essence, and then just downgrade the essence to craft it. So we have now made our Inferium seed tier 5. We've automated the farming. We've automated the Supremium crafting. So the next thing is to speed this up as much as we can. So the first 2 things that we can do, we can make growth accelerators. Now these just need Inferium blocks, any stone and diamond. So I am going to go and grab some stone. Again, it's Inferium though, so you need to make the choice between if you're going to use it for the seeds or for something like this. I would recommend definitely using it for this as well. And diamonds, although they're not so expensive now, they're not the cheapest either. So because the reason we've done it in this order as well is because we can make lots of growth accelerators, because these will stack on top of each other. And because we can fly now, we can easily place them underneath the crops. So the first 2 crops are under this. I'm just going to dig down. I guess I'll do it right next to them. The way the growth accelerators work is they will speed up the crops that are directly above it. So if we know that is where our seeds are growing. So we could even make a smaller farm. I know some people just make a tiny one with 4 blocks and stick loads of these underneath, but I'm going to be doing it like this. We now just stack them underneath each other and they will grow the crop above it at a faster rate. So I know I made 32 and I'm going to watch on the, if I press F3, I can check these Y level and I can keep going down. You want to go down as low as possible, because the more you have underneath, the more of a result you'll get. Obviously the only real expense here is actually the Inferium itself, and this will also grow the Inferium. So this is a circle, basically. It will aid itself and it will feed itself. It's just the diamond and the stone, and we have loads of cobble. So now all of these will be working to grow that plant, and you see it's already mature. So they actually grew one of them already, and it's not amazingly fast, but it's as fast as you can get. The more you put underneath, the faster it will get. Look at that, it's already 43% again, because I think it's the same thing. This will randomly apply ticks above, and the more you have, the more chances or the more ticks that are applied. So again, it's just farm 2 Inferium and it's collecting in here. What you really want to do is pipe that out to some kind of collector, or pipe it straight into your crafter, so that you're automating the farming and then the crafting of Supremium, which is what I'm going to do here. So let's grab some item conduits. We can stick those along here. Definitely I'm going to change the layout, but this is just to show you the idea. Put this on extract always, put this on insert. Now Inferium's coming in automatically from the farming station and it's automatically crafting it up to Supremium. So this is growing rather quickly as well. You see it's already happened a few times, which is great. So we'll get more and more Inferium, and I'm going to fill out the whole 7x7 with the tier 5 Inferium, and we'll have more Supremium than we'll know what to do with. And that will also allow us to then work on all of the other seeds, because if we type in at mystical, we have a lot of resource seeds that we can make. So I'm going to update my file with all the different seeds and resources as well. And then we've got a space to plant all of them on here. So the final thing, so I'll tick off the growth accelerator, is the growth crystal. So the growth crystal, you place it on the same level, or actually it works 2 blocks up or down, but I place it on generally the same level, or just one below the water source. Now the first level is not a water source, so you can't replace the water, but the second one is, and the third one is. So for this, originally I'm just going to stick it below the water block, but for these two I'm going to replace the water block. But we don't have the greenhouse glass yet, so we can't upgrade, and we don't have a dragon egg yet, so we can't get to the highest one. For the growth crystal, you just need compressed bone blocks, iron, and sea lantern. So compressed bone blocks, bone into blocks, which we've got, and sea lantern are prismarine. Now prismarine shards we get from sieving sponge, if we've got sponge, which we could have automated the creation of with wool and chippings and stuff, but I haven't done that. You also get prismarine shards from a chicken and from a loot bag, and you can also change nether quartz into prismarine. So at the moment I've been getting them by breaking down prismarine blocks into prismarine shards, and the blocks for me have come from the uncommon loot bags that we got earlier, but there are many methods for you to get it. And the crystals again can come from sieving sponge, from a chicken, or from again putting the shards back in the sag mill to get the crystal. So let's just fly over here and check the sag mill. I believe, yeah, I've got crystals in there, and then I also have shards in here. I even have some sponge if we want to start sieving that. I might actually automate the sponge next episode so that we have the prismarine shards coming in. Loot bags definitely are not reliable enough, and we're not at chickens at this chicken yet, but you may be, but I'm not there yet, so I might automate that. We'll see. And then we've got compressed bone blocks. So I'm just going to grab one for now to show the proof of concept, and we need 4 iron. And now we can make our sea lantern. And we can, we need 3 more bone blocks. And we can make our growth crystal. Now this, we fly back over here. And where is the middle? 1, 2, 3, 4 from 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this works 2 blocks up or down. So that is now working on these as well. And I'm not sure what happened just then, but my seed broke. It's very strange. But yeah, so now our growth crystal and our growth accelerators are working on the farm. When we get to tier 2, we replace the growth crystal with the water, and we just keep making more and more of these accelerators directly below the dirt, and it will keep speeding up the growth. You see this is growing even while we're standing here talking. Tier 5s give you more Inferium as well, so it means you're getting more. We're automatically crafting it up, which means we can keep making more seeds, and so forth. So I'm going to tick off the growth crystals. And the last thing, obviously, we haven't done that for a while, is some chickens. So I'm going to be getting an aluminium chicken, which is just iron and flint. And then I'm going to move the flint one over to the gunpowder chicken, and we're going to get sulfur chickens. And there's our sulfur chicken. So we're still progressing with all of our chickens, and now we have mystical agriculture and we have Inferium. We can start to progress with our seeds and other resources from essences. So I'm going to tick that off and come over to the achievement book. We have done a few things. So we've crafted an Inferium seed. We've got our food and essence farm. We've used growth crystals and accelerators, and we're going to make these seeds in the future. Then we'll make the Master Infusion crystal once we kill a wither. Supremium apple and Supremium Ava will come next. Nether will be next episode with the diamond chest. The end and the beneath as well we'll be able to do very soon. We have power. We've automated this. We've used energy conduits. We've automated loot bags. We've automated crop harvesting. The ender pouch and ender chest will come after we have blaze rods. And refined storage, I think I'm going to do that in the next episode just to speed up. So we'll probably do refined storage and the nether. Ore pieces and chunks have been automated. We've automated the processing. The reactors I need to play around with. We're making at least 1,000 a tick, so I'll tick that off, and the rest we will definitely do as we go through. We'll do the void miner and the void resource miner soon. We've leveled up Tinker's tools. This will do next time as well. This we need a nether star for. We've made unbreakable tools. These two we'll do next episode. And then we'll get into blood magic, Botania and dragons, and then the crazy bits. So Traveler, we've got a dimlit parcel. We need to make some dimensions. And then we need to do some crazy things, and we'll have finished the book. So we are progressing very well. Next episode will be nether and refined storage to make our life easier and to produce us even more resources. In between, I'm gonna update our Inferium farm over there, so I'll get as many tier 5s as I can, and then probably in the next episode I'll also start with the resources, so we'll make our crafting seeds. And then from that, we can make our stone, dirt, and etc. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. In the top is the most recent upload from me. It may not be this, but if you like this, you may like that. On the right is the next episode in the playlist. On the left is the previous one from this playlist. And in the middle is me. If you enjoyed this, click on me, give me a like, give me a subscribe. If you didn't, dislike, leave me a comment, give me some feedback. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.